I'm sure you were expecting to hear the voice of a beautiful elf or a wise wizard, so they could spin you a tale of gold and ancient evils. But that is not this story. No, this is a story of four friends that call Middle-earth home. A dwarf of the line of Durin's kin, who is obsessed with knowledge instead of gold. An elf of Rivendell, sworn to serve and protect the descendants of a once great house. A banished dwarf, seeking glory and proof that there is more to life than what lies under a mountain. And a hobbit of the Shire, who collects treasures of the smallest kind. Together, with their strength, wits, and heart, they will face the growing shadows of the East, bringing light where there is darkness.
But you see it again move in ways that a shadow shouldn't move. As you draw your attention towards this, you see that this person thing moves as quietly as you. Not a single twig cracks, a leaf bends, nothing. And you realize as you sort of muse over this silent person that you may have seen this person before. Your memory casts back about 4.5 weeks ago as you traveled via horseback to find a little hobbit strapped to the leg of a galloping troll. And you passed by but did not stop to see a humanoid figure passing through the mists. And it's something about the way this person moves, something about their gait. You recognize this as the same person. As they get closer, you can see just enough of their face that you recognize this person. This is another ranger of the north.
Well, I'm certain that would be delightful. I'm currently looking for someone. And he's going to go into satchel and pull out a wanted poster. I need to find...
I made that. I put them posters up. You found one.
Then I need to find you.
Do you have a name, good sir?
Yoldrick Blackforge.
Oh, Owl's beard. I know you.
Most likely from shameful stories, no doubt, but I promise that...
Look, I got a whole page in my book right here, dedicated to you. You're the reason I shaved my beard. You're like me hero. Oh, can we get some extra drinks over here? Willie, you got to meet, I found him. Do you know who this is?
You might want to keep it down. And he's looking at you.
What did he do to you, though?
He tried to recruit me. He has made it his duty to acquire dishonored and exiled dwarves among his number. For what purpose, I do not know. But to see my kin used in such a way, if there might be some measure of glory, some measure of redemption that I could find amongst my kin in the Misty Mountain, I believe that I could acquire it by bringing them. Or
There have been dark stirrings recently, growing since the death of Smaug, the restoration of Erebor. It had been kept to the eastern side of the Misty Mountains, but something has returned here to these lands. I'm not entirely sure what it is, what's moving in the shadows, what hides in the darkness, but I am not the only one who has sensed it clearly. And so we have called a moot with the other rangers of the north, or at least as much of them as we could get in such a short time. As I said, we are meeting at the Watchtower of Amansul to discuss what should happen, how best to handle this, to compare notes. And I do believe that your companion Orphan will be in attendance. I assume he is on his way there now, if not there already. I would advise you to burn the map, forget its location, and to tread carefully. I knew Timaeus well. I watched Timaeus whenever I could spare an eye. Several of us had. He was troubled. He fell in with a troubled lot. And I would be careful.
What does this map lead to? Might I see it?
Barrows. Oh yeah, sure. I can give you all the details. So it's a map, but around the edges of the map in the north, south, east, west corner are some dwarvish. Come to find out, it was smoke letters, and it's written in the old Moria tongue. And what we found out was basically it led us to the Black Barrows, to this old tomb where we encountered Gror. And then we got locked in the tomb for a little bit. Then we kind of escaped it. We found some treasure, lots of it. And we did find out that it is said that the tomb is part of maybe an old ancient... Oh, no, it's a lord from an ancient northern kingdom. So this ruin it was on was a lord from an old ancient northern kingdom. But everything there in the Barrows is sunk down except for the throne and the tomb Barrows that we entered. So, we're not really looking to go back. It's not an easy trek through the marshes.
This is where they're doing their work. This is where they're looking.
And to the north of Bree.
Yes.
So what, he's just sending out his lackeys to go and dig up every tomb he can find?
He wants this treasure, and he cannot have it.
And as you and Elvernet sort of look around the room, you see that for the first time in arguably weeks, your group has the least amount of attention. And whoever that shadowy figure that Elvernet was talking to has gotten up from their chair and is walking across the bar. Every single eye, and now yours, fall on this person as she quietly walks across the tavern directly at the two of you. She places her hands down on the table and she says, "If the four of you plan to keep shouting about the goings-on of your little company and who you plan to hunt down and who you plan to kill, perhaps someone will take notice."
Okay, well, I'm Glowfrom. It's nice to meet you.
I've heard. We've all heard. I'm
You
sure
are?
that Chetwood has heard.
Well, I ain't got nothing to hide. Do you?
There is
She-
plenty of hot things to hide, Glowfrom.
I meant no insult, Master Dwarf. You are being loud. That is true. Bree and the surrounding Breelands have eyes and ears. What you're discussing may make you more enemies than this. And she points to the wanted poster that's on the table. This Gror. You don't know
Well-
who's here. You don't know who's around you. And you may end up in deeper trouble than you already are in.
Well, I hate to break it to you, but we ain't got nowhere else to go. You got a better place for us to discuss it?
No. What I have is a tip. Rather than head out into the wilderness and stumble your way into who knows what, I suggest you head east. There's a place just off the Greenway called the Forsaken Inn. You may have heard of it. It
Yeah,
is
I know of that place. I don't go very often.
No one does if they can avoid it. There is a man named Mallor'd. He's a ranger of the north, like myself. He may be of assistance to you.
Huh.
I don't know your... And she picks it up, the wanted poster. I think you spelled his name incorrect.
So I hate to be the bearer of bad news, and it's not like I really want to say you're wrong, but I want to correct you on that. That is, in fact, Gror. His brother Gron was found dead in a tomb in the middle of, the Midwater Marshes. Little barrow down, got buried down, you know what I mean?
She reaches across, as you say Midwater Marshes, in a barrow, and she puts a finger on your mouth.
You'll be
I'm-
removing that.
Things are best left unsaid.
I-
Speak
Okay.
to Mallor'd. If his brother is dead and he has returned, then Gorlek has returned.
Maybe it was her finger on me lips, but I'm feeling real saucy about hitting the road.
I could do with some violence.
So maybe, like, in daylight, we can, pitter-patter out of town for a bit, go find, this terribly nice, not mysterious at all, or kind of worrisome fella hiding at a place called the Forsaken Inn.
Sounds like a plan.
Yeah.
Drinks on me.
Oh, please tell me we can keep him.
Arise, minions, and welcome to unMadeGaming. We are here. We're back. Look at this. Look at this. We're a whole show. This is gonna fall on very deaf ears for YouTube. They're gonna be like, I don't understand what's happening. The videos are in order. Yeah, it's been like, I don't know, a month since we all played together. It's a good time. We're here. We're ready. We're doing some things. Those of you who understand the title of this episode, you're welcome. And if you don't, that's fine. If you guys like what we do here and you want to support the channel, the best way to do that is by joining us over on our Patreon. Link for that in the description down below. While you're clicking on that link and joining us, also click on that Discord link. Join us in the Discord, be a part of the community, be a part of the conversation. And as always, in the bottom right-hand corner is the corruption bar. That bar serves two purposes. One is when that bar fills, I unleash shadow damage on all of my players. And two, every single time that bar fills, all that money goes back to these amazing faces that you see here before you. That being said, you've been recapped. We're here. We're ready. Let's do this. Seeing as how none of my players watched the recap because we were talking about things like John Wick and the new D&D movie.
Why would we do that? Why would we come prepared?
Yeah.
The recap.
So you guys all met Yaldric here at the Inn of the Prancing Pony. You were accosted by Elvernet's new girlfriend. And you were told to seek another ranger of the north called Mallor'd in the Forbidden Inn, which is east of Bree.
The Forsaken Inn.
What did I say?
Forbidden.
Oh yeah, no, it's 100% the Forsaken Inn. I don't know where Forbidden
Yeah, while
came
you guys
from.
were talking about movies, I was reading my notes from last time.
Hey,
Perfect.
me too.
Look at this. Look at this. Players who take notes. Outstanding. I'm a GM and I don't do that. So, how are you traveling to the Forsaken Inn?
Well, last time we rented ponies and returned almost all of them.
That's true. This time, the stable master is disinclined to acquiesce to your request for renting ponies, as though you did reimburse him his fee for a lost pony. Losing a pony is far worse for business.
All right, so okay,
That's
you know what?
fair.
I'm gonna take a look at this here dope map you've got, Mike. So we're headed east of the Bree lands.
Yeah.
So, is there a river? Is there a faster way to cross than on foot?
I was actually gonna. Oh, I'm sorry.
There's a road. You can just walk down it.
Well, then that seems like the best option, Mike.
Yeah. I agree with you. I'm not going to
Wait,
railroad
wait.
you.
No. But we've got the money. Why don't we just purchase a couple of ponies or go to donkey or something?
If he won't
You want
sell
us to
to you
walk?
for whatever reason, I don't see why he wouldn't sell to me, and I'd be more than happy to cover the cost.
Well, we rented them last time, so I suppose if we offer to buy them off of him or another person who sells horses.
What about a wagon?
What? Okay.
One
all
horse and a
right.
wagon would work as well.
What are you planning on taking, Willie, that we need a wagon for?
Himself.
Myself. That's a long walk.
Well,
You can ride the horse. I will walk.
would I know? I'm so sorry. If you've never heard a dwarf with the sniffles, you will now. So, as I was saying, if I was to be looking at this map, where are we headed, Mike?
You're headed
Like,
less
can you
than
ping it?
Yeah, of course I can. You're headed less than a day's travel away from Bree.
Oh, okay.
Then we'll just walk.
Yeah, Willie.
Oh, all right. I thought we were heading pretty far up. That's actually not that bad. Sorry. That's going to be a long journey.
Yeah, you're headed
So
like
what-
from Bree to like right over here. So 2.5
Oh,
feet.
We've already been we're already at the marshes. That's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, we've actually done this in an app on your phone. I could tell you that's at least 2 days travel by foot.
As humorous as your mode of transport is, I was more asking, how are you preparing to travel? Are you doing anything differently? Are you bringing anything? Are you seeking anyone out? Or are you just leaving, just headed out of Bree at dawn? Or at noon for all I care. I don't know, whatever. You tell me, what time are you leaving? What time are you getting
At
there?
least after second breakfast.
So being the stubborn dwarf that I am, while everybody's making preparations, I am probably still gonna go acquire those ponies.
Perfect.
And a horse for our elf friend. Or is it moose that you... Never mind.
Is there anything I know about this Forsaken Inn? Why is it forsaken?
Oh, is there Glowfrom? Yeah, roll me. It's not. Is it lore?
I don't know.
One day I'll learn the rolls.
It's okay, me too.
Yeah, roll me lore.
Okay.
It is lore. I was right.
I would also like to know about the Forsaken.
Yeah, roll
Inn.
me lore.
Okay, I got a great success.
Good job.
Great. Well, I just want to see what Elvin
In my fever dream, I remembered something. An extraordinary success. We are very smart today.
Wow,
Yeah.
you guys are on it.
That was the good roll of the evening, folks.
Yeah, that's it. It's all downhill,
from here.
Yeah, so it's so yes. So you Glowfrom, you have likely never been there. This I think obviously other than the Midgewater Marshes just now, I believe Bree is probably the furthest east you've gone, I think.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Elverneth on the other side of that, this is on the Rivendell side of Bree, right? You had to have come by this place. It's not a nice place. It's not forsaken for any sort of like there's a ghost there or anything bad. It was an inn, and it fell into disincline, and then it continued to fall into disincline for a while. Like for our lore friends here, when Thorin's company came through here 20 or so years ago, it was abandoned, and it has been abandoned and not abandoned over the years. And it's just a shitty, rundown trash inn, and thus it is used by those kind of people. If you want to not be found at an inn, it's like those no-tell motels where no one actually ever stays there and the cameras are always broken. That's the kind of inn this place is. The beer is shitty, the food is shitty, the beds are shitty, if there are beds at all, but no one remembers your name or if you were here or when you were here, if you were ever here to begin with. So the kind of people who would benefit from that are often...
We're meeting this Mallor'd there?
Yes. Yeah.
All right.
You are aware that he is a Ranger of the North.
Right.
And despite your interactions with Orphan, most people of the Breelands have that same sort of idea of the Rangers of the North, that they are bad people and dangerous and just borderline criminals. So yeah.
So then I looked at Elvorn and I'll say, look, the last thing I've heard about the Forsaken Inn is that, well, it was rather empty. My uncle and his company passed through and there was nobody there. Seems like it's a wane-in, fickle kind of place. Not much of an inn.
That's why it's called the Forsaken Inn.
Yeah, I guess what I'm saying is we could be walking into some danger. Are we sure we trust this ranger?
Well, most people don't trust rangers, which is why me and my people can go around there.
What about me and my people and Willie?
Can
we go around there? Okay. I guess I'm just saying, nothing good comes of a Forsaken Inn. Of all the places to meet on the road.
Yes, but we are dealing with slightly more sensitive information. sometimes, in order to preserve secrets, you have to go to sketchy places.
Well, then I say we travel light.
Yes, I wouldn't take anything of true value with you. I would leave that where it's safe.
Really? You might want to save your baubles. Remember they fell out last time.
And also make sure you have a weapon you're comfortable with in case you need to defend yourself.
So steal up. Okay. What else?
Mm,
And we should probably leave before second breakfast till sun gets too high. Could be hot.
yes. We will be traveling light though. What information do we particularly want to try to get from this person?
Well, it was your contact that told us to meet them. Mike, is that right?
That is true. Yeah.
Yes.
Haleth is the one who said to meet him. And because she referenced that if Gror is the brother of Gron and he's back, then likely Gorlank is back. And I do believe you guys didn't give up any information about Gorlank. But she did reference the fact that Gorlank is back. And
we learned that Gorlank is a great sorcerer that's seeking an ancient treasure.
That is true. You learned that from Yoldrick.
And that there's something stirring west of the Misty Mountains, which is why all these rangers are hightailing it to meet.
That's true. She told you to seek Mallor'd because he was part of the original party that got rid of Gorlank in the beginning. And that he may have information for you.
About Gorlank specifically, yeah.
About Gorlank.
Okay. I'm going to be honest with this. I'm going to be honest with all of this chamomile tea I've had. I'm writing a lot slower. So I apologize. Okay. Well, I say we hit the road, Willie. Leave the heavy stuff behind and your bubbles at home so you don't lose them.
What? Now, when you say heavy stuff, what do you mean?
We're traveling light. In case we've got to run. Forsaken, sketchy ranger.
All right, I can pack light.
I will say we do know that Mallor'd defeated Gorlank, so if nothing else, or had a hand in it, so if nothing else, we are at least on the, as they say, the enemy of my enemy is my ally or friend.
Oh, yes, I guess that's true. I guess I'm more worried about him roping us into some extravagant adventure where we're going to go hunting some great sorcerer.
Yes, he wouldn't do that.
He wouldn't?
No. There no adventures.
Iris, you couldn't make that with a straight face at all.
I tried so hard.
Well, so you've never led me astray thus far, Elavorneth. So as long as you can promise no adventures, I guess I'm willing to go meet this sketchy ranger.
I can promise you a small journey to meet a ranger in a quite an interesting long abandoned inn, who may give us more information about things you are already curious about.
Right. Just so I can document it.
Yes. So,
well, that sounds amenable. Just think, Willie, we might find some. We've never been that far east. We might find some fences along the way need patching. You could get more baubles.
Yes, there's always interesting things found around there.
Wait. Where do Aldrich go?
With perfect timing, as you say that, Yoldrick returns with a horse and 3 ponies.
Well, look at that.
wasn't as difficult as I thought it might be.
And that's because he
Oh.
still trusts you. Just wait till you return only 3 of the 4.
I don't intend to lose anyone in this party.
Right. Yeah, no, we're not going to lose anyone. All right, so let's settle up.
Yes, and think about this: if we, since we're traveling light today, if we need to leave quickly, we'll be able to leave even faster now.
My thoughts exactly.
Now,
Well, then I'm bringing extra rations.
Right. We should only be gone like 2 days, 3 days max.
Yeah, so would you go out on not an adventure of that sort? You still got to
Was
plan
that
for
a
like 7
sentence?
days.
it's
I understood what you were saying, Willie.
at some point, the more you just roll your R in Scottish, it just becomes words.
I did it right? Did I do it?
I know what you were saying. All right, well, let's settle up, head out. Who's rolling for travel, Mike?
No one. It's one day on a road. You don't have to.
Great, as long as we don't get off the road.
Yeah, as long as you,
Don't get off the road. Great, fine.
as long
we
as
can-
you
we can make it
stay on
happen.
the paved road. No one has to roll anything to just show
Right.
up there.
Okay,
What if I find
cool.
something shiny?
Well, I think you're the one that rolls. So,
Or a fence that needs to be patched, you know.
I'm
So-
not the scout.
just so I know, are you waiting until second breakfast, which in this case would be 9 a.m. to serve, probably 9:30, 9:45 to be completely eaten?
Here's the question: is what time would that put us there?
After dark.
Okay.
If we leave at sunup, do we make it before sundown?
You would, although whether Willie throws a tantrum or not is entirely up to him.
I've got extra rations. I'll just take it to go. And
Yeah,
I've got
he's
a
got
horse. I can
7
eat right on the
days
horse.
Right on that.
7 days. 7 days worth of rations.
7 days worth of human rations. That's 2 days worth of hobbit rations.
Well, it's because he did his math.
Yeah.
It's a 2-day trip, 7 days worth of rations.
Okay, perfect. So you leave at daybreak, which in Hobbit time, that is before breakfast. So you can have breakfast, second breakfast, 11sies, luncheon, afternoon tea, dinner, and supper. Dinner, not supper, on horseback. Although I would love to see how you prepare afternoon tea on horseback, or ponyback in your case. However it's done.
Maybe we'd skip that one. Sunty?
Just heat it up with a series of mirrors.
No, all you have to do for sun tea is have a glass container that is in the sun.
That's true. That's true. So you collectively nosh on your trail rations while Willie has a smorgasbord. And you guys arrive after dinner time, which is after 6 p.m., but before supper time, which is 9 p.m. The sun is going down. It has not gone down completely. You are approaching nightfall as you arrive, and you see a incredibly ramshackled establishment. The roof slopes. You can see from the exterior that there are holes. You think that there are probably more holes than you can see, but the ivy and lichen sort of covers the top of this thing in a way that disguises several holes. You can see that several additions were made to this Forsaken Inn of varying age and haphazard building quality. And you also see that the establishment itself is laden with horses, donkeys, and what appears to be a small caravan, of which you do see a couple people milling about, but most of the people are inside as the four of you clip-clop your way up to the Forsaken Inn. There are a handful of hitching posts left out there, and if you cannot find one, there are plenty of trees around to tie off your horse and or pony. What are you guys doing?
So I'm just gonna hitch up and head on inside with
Okay.
my wanted poster in hand to see if anybody knows anything about.
I love that.
As we approach, Elverneth says, we should tread extremely carefully in here. People are generally not as amicable to outsiders they haven't met before.
I have a question for the group.
Oh, and now it's going to ask a question. You first.
Who among you, this can be multiple people, feels like their character is good at reading a room?
What skill does that use?
I don't know. I will figure it out once I have the. If you think your character is skilled at reading a room, then we'll build something off of that.
I hope that would be insight.
That probably would be insight.
Okay.
Well, yeah.
I was gonna argue.
Yeah,
would be
then
something.
yeah, I'm real good at that.
Okay.
I have
I
no
am not.
insight, but I was gonna argue for scan.
So scan
I was going to
is-
also argue for scan. I was looking for something specific, though.
Okay, so scan is like your D&D perception check, right? Or it's like
okay.
your investigation /
I'm
perception.
looking. So with all these horses and caravans and business, a lot of times there's going to be banners, flags, drapes on horses. Is there like a biker gang or road gang, the equivalent of like, big baddies parked up and in here with their horses? Can I roll a scan to see if there's anything we should like, be aware of before we walk in the door?
So a scan would be to see it. I think a riddle would be to understand what it is.
Okay, well, we don't have to go symbol. Is there like, think about like a certain armor on horses or saddles that might be elven versus man versus dwarven, like anything that might give away what we're walking into.
Yeah, roll me scan or riddle. You tell me which one and we'll roll it.
I think scan's going to be better.
Okay.
So just what do my dwarven eyes see? Oh my goodness, that was so bad.
It was actually close. You're only one off. You look around and this nothing raises your dwarven hackles. This
Okay.
looks like a series of ponies, a handful of horses. You would assume either the donkeys are for pack animal, perhaps they are pony-like replacements for small folk,
Sure.
such as yourself or hobbits. Horses are for the big folk. But nothing about this. There's no like iconography that like alerts you to anything.
Great.
In the
Then
meantime,
I'll dismount, and I'm a little worried about Yodrick just petering off in by himself, so I'm gonna just take his trail to help.
Okay. In the meantime, as you're approaching, as you're looking this over, as Yoldrick is hitching his horse, or his pony rather, Elverneth and Willie, please roll me insight.
Do I get any bonus dives because I had an extraordinary success
Well done,
before
Willie.
regarding this place?
I like that argument. Yeah, go ahead and give yourself one bonus die.
Yeah.
It's a good.
Get it.
Success.
Okay, outstanding. Willie, similar to Glowfram, you pull up here on your pony as you're noshing on the remnants of your dinner. Nothing about the people you can see. They seem like workaday folk. This seems like a passing caravan. Either they're stopping for the night because it's safer, or they're picking up additional people on their caravan. You're not entirely sure why they're here, but it is nightfall. This is a place that is better than the woods. But nothing raises your hackles either, as far as who these people are. I will say this goes for everyone, both on and off horses. You do see that there are 4 human men, a single human woman, 4 dwarves, and that's it. Milling about either inside or outside. This is just, you get like a visual count of people before you can see faces. Elverneth, same information for you, except given your knowledge of this place and given your conversation with Haleth, yours being probably the friendliest version of that conversation that happened, if it's something, triggers in your elven mind, if she was concerned about the eyes and ears of Bree, those eyes and ears are tenfold in an establishment like this. the people that frequent this kind of place will happily sell any information you say to anyone who's asking for it. Is the feeling you get from this place, its reputation, not necessarily the individual people here, but like if the Prancing Pony was a place to watch for your say, this place absolutely is that kind of place. And you see that looking at the place, looking at the surroundings, the upkeep of this establishment, as you guys pack your horses and or unpack your horses and tie them up.
I would make sure that I say all of that essentially before anyone has a chance to like start storming off because we cannot mess up here. There are far too many people for us to try to fight our way out.
That's fair.
You like when you tell he kind of looks at the number of horses. I think I could do it.
Yoldrick.
But I'm thinking we shouldn't. Let's just keep it on,
Let's
low.
see what we can find out before we start giving any information of our own.
And look, there's a few dwarves here. Between me and you, Yoldrick, we're not really liked by most dwarves, so maybe we should just,
We
I put me hood up.
we've earned that, and
I'm just saying this ain't a place for a fight,
our aims are true. We are only attempting to rid the world of darkness.
I'm with you. I'm just saying we should see what side of the line they stand on before we go barging in there. Because, it's not just our lives on the line. Look at old Willie. Look how cute he is. You're going to put him in danger.
Fine, I will stay quiet and let all of you work. And should that falter, I will wait until you leave before I extract the answers myself.
You'll be our plan B.
Just nods.
Okay, Lavorneth, you seem to know what's going on, so I'm following your lead. I'm just going to keep my head down.
Okay. Who is headed in first and in general?
I guess I'm going first.
I'll follow behind, but he's not keeping his head down. He's just keeping his mouth shut.
I'm going to kind of maybe keep Willie between me and Yoldrick so we don't lose him in the crowd. There could be a lot of shiny things here.
That is true. There could be. There very well could be. So you enter into this ramshackled establishment. You see, as I said, you see a handful of human men, human women, and 4 dwarves, all male. Elverneth, you will immediately look around and you do not clock anyone who fits the description that you are most accustomed to when dealing with Rangers of the North. They have a certain look or ruggedness to them, and no one here has that. You do see a waifish, weathered, and wily, that was a good alliteration, bartender behind the till, to which, because you rolled outstanding numbers there, you know his name's Jack. Whether that's his real name or not, you have no idea, but from your tales and knowledge and stories from other people, the bartender is always named Jack. And that's that. Again, you don't see anyone that looks exactly like what you would expect a ranger to look like. But you do see people milling about. You do see that there are a few people drinking. And as soon as the 4 of you sort of get into the room, Jack kind of peers over and he says, "There ain't no rooms."
We don't need rooms. Do you have
Alright.
drink?
Aye,
Take a drink.
all 4 of you.
I'll take 2.
A juice for the kid.
Just make it 5.
5. All right. All right. There's a table over there, and he points towards the back of the room. You can see that several of the tables would have been whole tables, but are now half or 3/4 of said table. All of the chairs don't match, and several of the chairs are just empty barrels, giving you sort of setting dressing for the things that could happen in a place like this. He motions to a 3/4 table with a big pie-shaped chunk out of it, 2 barrels, a bar stool, and a high-backed chair at that one. He motions to that one, and you see him begin to pull out wooden flagons from under this table and begin to pour what you assume to be some sort of ale. It is a little clearer than you'd hope, but he does begin to pour it. Do you head to that table? Okay.
While he pours the ale, these 4 dwarven men, do I recognize any of them? Do they seem to be important dwarven men?
What a question, Dot. What a question for you to ask.
I mean, I'm a thirsty dwarf. I want to know about the 4 dwarven men in the room.
That's true. You are, among things, a thirsty dwarf. You notice a number of things, Dot.
Okay.
At first, you notice who you would assume to be either the leader or elder of the dwarfs. He is old. He is a long, white-bearded dwarf, and you can see he has his long white beard is like tucked into his belt, and on his belt it is a thick leather, like Batman, thick leather belt with a set of smithing tools, the markings of a smith of some kind. You see 2 younger dwarves. One you can tell is slightly older than the other one. He is a little taller for a dwarf than you would, typically see.
Taller, you say?
A little bit taller. He's, if the other dwarves are like 5'3", 4'3", he may be
strapping 5'5".
He may be a 4'8", a 4'9", he might be up
All right,
there.
a 4'8", you say?
4'8", that's, that's a swipe right on the ye old Tinder. So you see him, he seems to be the older one, and his facial... Tell me about it. His face seems similar to both the younger dwarf and the oldest dwarf.
Am I getting the feel this is maybe a family?
You do get the feeling that this could be a family. You also see a younger dwarf. He is not sprightly, but spry. He seems thinner. He seems a little bit more wiry than the other ones. Clearly not the makings of a smith. And the 4th dwarf that you see, you recognize immediately.
Tell me.
You recognize him immediately. I would like you to roll me lore, just so I can see how much information you remember.
Do I get any bonuses for being a dwarf?
Your bonus is the ability to make this roll.
Great. Okay, never mind.
Can
No
I
one
make a
else.
roll?
You cannot. You are not a dwarf of the Blue Mountains, and therefore you do not know this person.
I don't see nothing.
Great.
I'm so 4'8". I'm so.
That's true. That is distracting. What you see is a dwarf, much shorter, cropped beard, white hair, shoulder length, and he has a massive, sickle-shaped scar down his right eye and across the bridge of his nose. His eyes look a little offset, like confusion or a head wound. But you recognize him as Vogar. Vogar was a hero, a dwarf warrior of some renown, a champion of the Blue Mountains.
Like what kind of champion? Like propaganda made champion or like proper?
The kind of champion that almost was on the quest for Erebor. Hence why you, specifically, would know who he is.
Oh, okay. My question is, as somebody that got left behind, why didn't he get chosen?
He did get chosen until he met a band of orcs before the party left and got his head stoved in.
Oh, whoops.
Yeah.
Okay, so okay. Well, fate seems to have its way with him. On our way over to the bus, as the drink finishes pouring and I realize who it is, I scoop up the drinks and I follow the group and I kind of catch up and I say, I recognize one of the dwarves in the corner.
Who is he?
I think I spelled it right. Volgar? Volgar?
No,
Where-
no dwarf that I've ever heard of.
Oh,
Is this a good thing or a bad thing?
well, depends on, honest, I hadn't seen him since his head got caved in. That was right about the time I left the mountains. So, you didn't hear it from me, okay? He was chosen to go on, the rescuing of Erebor. Problem is, he came upon a bunch of orcs. They caved his head in. He didn't make the journey. He got left behind.
Did I ever tell you about the time that I faced trolls?
Willie strapped himself to one recently.
Rode one like a pony.
True story.
It took 3 days for me to catch up.
Well, it sounds as though we should err on the side of caution with anything involving Volgar, unless we are prepared for a good fight.
Mike, that was like 20 years ago, right?
Yeah, a little bit more.
What, did we know each other? Before I was all like, fuck you, I wanted to go, couldn't go, piss off?
No, I don't think you had a personal relationship with Vogar and what seems to be his family. He, like I said, he was a dwarf warrior of some renown. Hence his acceptance to this. His call accepted. His call was accepted. Whatever happened with some orcs in the Blue Mountains, left him addled. And then at that point he was no longer at full capacity to.
Yeah, he wasn't capable.
Yeah.
Okay, so.
But there's a lot of elves. Sorry, there's a lot of dwarves in the Blue Mountains.
So I'm gonna assume that's his pa and his kids. But, it's kind of my guess. Could be wrong. Maybe his cousins. Usually we travel with family. It's a lot safer that way.
Well, do you think you'd maybe have answers for us, or?
I am wondering if he might have seen our, the dwarf we're looking for. Problem is, I don't know if he's going to help me.
Well,
or him.
This road only leads two ways. One, we ask and we get a answer, or we continue to speculate.
I thought you meant the literal road, and I was like, it does lead only two ways. It does east and west.
Well, we could also just, maybe leave him alone. Do you see our contact? This drink is swell.
No, drink it slowly.
Ugh.
I wouldn't have much of this if I were you. And you can tell Elverna's only been pretending to drink her drink. She's put it to her lips a couple times, but it's still just as full as it was when we sat down.
For tastes, it is, imagine if somebody put out a cigarette in a Coors Light.
Oh, so it's Mallor'd.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely.
I am going to take my extra drink, and I'm going to head over to Volgar.
Oh,
okay.
No, here we go.
Okay. Is anyone attempting to stop this, or going with Yeldrick?
I put my hand on his arm as he begins to move. I say, "Be careful what you say."
I will be gracious.
I'll be his backup. I kind of keep my hood up so maybe they don't recognize me right away. That could maybe be a whole thing. But I do follow.
Okay.
But wait, Wait, you put your hood up, but you are a boisterous, gifted,
They don't know that yet.
bearded
Dating from my beard's
dwarven
been
woman.
shaven to a mustache. I'm just, maybe I'm trying to support Yoldrick, so I just cover it a little and pull it tight.
There.
And just, I'll let him kick
get
off.
to-
I love this. I love it.
2
Do it.
exiled dwarves for the price of one. Let's do it.
Yeah, go, baby, go. Make it happen.
Yep, it's a whole time. It's a party. It's really the company of misfit toys is what you guys have become. So the two of you head over there in your paltry level of disguising who you are.
I'm absolutely not disguised in the slightest.
That's true. No one would know who you are, but
Yeah.
Glowfram's paltry disguise of who she is. The two of you walk over. The first thing you notice is that whatever conversation was happening in low voices stops immediately, and you see 4 sets of eyes peer up at you with vague curiosity, slight confusion. No one greets you because they didn't expect you to come over here. They just sort of look at you.
Is there a greeting for a formal greeting for the Blue Mountain?
I'll say if there is, you know it. And if you want to make it up, you can, or you just say you do it.
Sure. I just whisper it a little bit, not to draw attention to us.
Mm-hmm. You see the one you know as Vogar. One of his eyes looks at you, and one of them just sort of lists slightly to the right. He doesn't say anything, but his look of confusion, the more you look at it, looks like it might be a permanent a fixture of his face. The older one looks to you and he says, what can I do for you? Are you looking for work? Because I don't have any.
When I see honored kin, especially a renowned warrior such as Volgar, it would be remiss to miss the chance to honor him by giving him a drink. And I just put the ale right by his side.
You see his good eye focuses on it, and the other one just does whatever it wants. As he picks up this flagon, and he kind of nods gruffly to you, and there were syllables in the noise he made that you assume was a gesture of thank you. And the older one looks to you. He says, he says thanks. Do I know you? Either of you?
I am Yoldrick Blackforge of the Misty Mountains.
Never heard of you.
I'm Glowfram, daughter of Gloin, sister to Gimli.
Oh, right. And I'm the king under the mountain.
What do you mean? There is no king under the mountain. You and I both know that.
I have to clarify. Are you being shitty, or are you talking shit about the actual king under the mountain? Because there is 100% a king under the mountain.
There is now, but yeah. I meant for the line of Durin. The line of
that's true. That's true. The line of Durin
is... That's what I meant.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I just wanted to see how shitty you were being. And he looks to you and
I
says,
wasn't trying to be shitty. I think I was more hinted at the fact that the last time there was Durin's kin, right? That there was a line.
Yep.
We were both in the same place. We were both there for it.
Yeah. Thorin was the last.
Thorin, right? Line. That we were both there before the gathering for the reclamation of Erebor.
Right. He looks to you with I don't know, not quite confusion, but there's a half look of amusement, half look of the audacity. And he says, "Yeah, no, of course. Slightly royal blood would be in a place like this. I absolutely believe you, little lass."
Well, why wouldn't you believe me?
Miss, I don't travel with liars.
Miss, if you can sell that, I'll give you all me wares, and you can sell those too.
How about this? If I prove you wrong, you answer me and my friend's questions. And regardless of who wins, we'll buy another round of drinks.
Ooh.
On me father's coin.
Ooh. Roll me persuade, and I'm gonna give you a bonus die on this.
Okay.
Is there any way I can assist?
Tell me how.
I almost hit the button.
I'm assisting by already having started buying another round of drinks.
Okay, yeah, I'll take it. So 2 bonus die, Dot.
Okay. My rolls haven't been great tonight. They've been so bad. No, I failed.
Oh, that is a failure. Okay, cool. So you know what? That's a great question, Aris. How loud are I can answer for this guy. He is not talking loudly. He is in a not a stage whisper. He is talking at a low volume so that only those around him can hear. However, Yoldrick and Glowfrom, how loud are you being?
I would say Glowfrom took Elvorn's words to heart. She was already a little on edge coming here, so I don't think she's being as her usual self at the Prancing Pony.
Okay. So quiet. Elverneth, if you'd like to hear it, you can make me a roll.
Yoldrick says what he means, and he means what he says, and he doesn't really alter his value that much.
Perfect.
So
Elverneth, if you'd like to roll me scan, you can do so to hear what Glowfrom is saying.
So tell me, what is it that you would need to prove? Is it the fact I was there the day they chose you?
Little lass, it's not a pissing contest. I don't rightly care who you are. We're here to do a business. We're part of the caravan.
But I needed you to answer some questions. The deal was if I could prove you wrong, you'd answer me questions.
Well, if you ask me questions, then I'll decide if I want to answer them.
Yoldrick, show him the drawing.
Pulls out the wanted poster. It just kind of slaps it on the table.
It's a dwarf that is wanted. Is he wanted by you? Is this an official? I don't see a seal on here. Is there a...
He's wanted by a few folk of our kind.
Right. For what?
Well, for grave robbing, killing one of his own kin.
Right. Robbing his own graves, or graves of whose graves?
Why does it matter whose grave it is?
Well, I feel like if you're robbing a dwarvish grave, that's probably a little bit more shameful. Than
It was a kingly grave, so it doesn't matter whose it is.
Who's king? The dwarvish king, or is it?
I guess what I'm saying is we simply want to know, have you seen this man on the road?
Oh, no.
There you have it. Here's your drinks.
We're heading from the east. We're headed back in the direction of the Blue Mountains.
Why are you headed back there?
It's a trade caravan.
Oh, you're coming from the Misty Mountains.
Straight, and he pats his smithing tools.
Then I imagine you've recently seen me father.
No.
Spending his gold.
No.
No, you haven't seen any dwarves?
No, I've seen plenty of dwarves. I just haven't seen your father. Glowing or otherwise. And the other two people who don't have an axe wound chuckle at his clear joke.
Do we have some kind of family crest or something that I'd put on the armor or a ring?
That depends on if you would be brazen enough to put your house sigil on something. One who has shaved their beard and left the Blue Mountains.
That's true. He's not real happy with me. Well, that's okay.
Yeah, it depends if Glowfrom is a person who's proud of their house and would have that on there, or are you like, fuck you, Dad, I got shit to do in your 80-year-old teenage rebellion years.
Yeah. No, I don't think. Well, it is a little bit. It is a little bit rebellious, but mostly because I didn't get picked to go. Oh,
Yeah, you did stamp your feet and leave.
I did. I threw a dwarven temper tantrum.
Yeah.
So but that doesn't mean I think I forsake it. Clearly, I just used his name, so I can't be
Mhm.
too embarrassed by it. I
Yeah.
really just want him to give me what I want. Well, it's okay.
I mean, as
Well,
far as you can
that's-
tell, he seems like he's being honest. Without an
Well,
insight roll, he seems.
You got any other questions, Yodrick?
Yodrick is gonna kind of like lock in on Volgar and go. Dwarf doesn't get that kind of wound without a good story to go behind it. If you left with that and survived, it must have been quite a battle.
He smiles, but only half of his face moves. Like the other, there's a word for it, but it seems like he has like partial facial paralysis. He smiles, and he starts to say things. Some of the words come out in like common, essentially. Some of the words come out in broken Dwarven, and most of the words are garbled. And the one who's been doing most of the talking sort of like pats him on the back. And you can tell immediately that it's not like it's not patronizing. He's genuinely like, yeah, you tell him the story. And then once he finishes, he kind of cuts in and retells the story in fluent speech. Vogar was as Glowfrom had indicated, was a great dwarven warrior, and he ran afoul of a group. The number can be wildly exaggerated depending on how many ales they've had, but a number of orcs, to which he killed a good number of them. But the leader of said orcs drove his axe hard enough to split the dwarven helm, the skin, and the skull of Vogar. He still killed him, but Vogar was left badly scarred and addled afterwards. And no one has been able to fix that, heal it, anything other than where he is now in his current state.
Like, after genuinely and like very like appreciatively listening to him share that story, Yodrick is going to tell him, I dishonored my home, my name, and my kin, and I am looking for the chance to make that right. Felling this fellow exile is the first step of that journey for me. If there is anything that any of you know, you have no reason to help me, but it would be appreciated. This man has brought shame to our kin, and I look to correct that for our blood and for my family.
Roll me awe. Success. Okay. Cool. The one who's been talking looks to you and he says, "Aye, sit," and he like motions to the two of you. Perhaps I came off a little hasty. My name is Vig. This obviously is my brother Volgar, my son Narvig, my youngest son Narvi. We are but humble smiths.
Which one's the tall one? I just wanted to write it in my notes.
Narvig is the tall one. I'll put it in chat for you. It's Vig, Narvig.
You know, we can. It's not the greatest name. We can work with it.
Narvi and Vogar.
Narvig. Okay. Yeah, I'm just.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Spicy dwarf love letter. He looks to you and says, "We are but humble smiths. We work for every coin we have, and we ply our wares where we can. And he kind of like notionally motions towards the caravan of clearly not dwarven make or primarily made up of dwarves. I don't know the man here. If I do see him, I can. Is there a way I can get your word?
We tend to stay around the Braylands.
Dot, your voice thing turned off if you wanted to use it.
Oh, well, let's try that again.
You don't need it.
Okay.
You sound great.
That's great. Yes, I sound so great this week. No, I was saying.
It's still off.
No, it's not. Is it really?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh wait. I know why. I know why. Because Zoom reset.
You're on the wrong mic, most likely.
Now, 1, 2, testing microphone. No.
No. But it's adorable, though.
Yeah, great.
No, I can't hear you. Oh wait.
I got it.
There it is.
Yay!
I got it. All I was saying was that we're staying near the Brelands, and you can leave a message for us at the Prince and Pony.
Right. If I happen to see, I will be honest with you. We tend to stay on the road here. We will be passing through Bree here in a day or two. We do move a little bit slower, but here in the next couple of days, we should be passing through the Brelands, passing through Bree itself. The caravan master should know more. And he looks around. Older gentleman, a little bit heavy set. It's a human, a big folk. His name is Edric.
Edric.
Good to know. And should you and your fine family ever come to be in need of steel or an extra dwarf hand to wield it, let me know.
Both of you roll me a scan.
Okay. No, I can't win. I can't succeed today.
Great success.
Okay. Yoldrick, whether you communicate this or act on this information, as you look around the table, these four dwarves, though they have the makings of traders, everything about them seems like they are smiths of some kind, minus Vogar. They look destitute. If they are making coin, they are not making a lot of it. They don't look like they're doing terrible things. They look like they're honest tradesmen, but either their quality is trash, or their ability to sell is bad, or they're terrible with money. But you can see there are dings and nicks in some of the tools that you can see. Their clothing is a little worn down. They don't look as crisp and clean as you would expect a merchant to look. They do look a little destitute.
Dare I ask how many days you've been on the road?
About a week. So far. The return trip.
Well, there's always work to be done in Bree for good coin. That's where I usually hang about.
We're usually able to sell a bit in Bree, but we need to restock our supplies towards the Blue Mountains, and once we're there, we'll probably take a few days and head back.
Hey, Mike.
Yes.
There once was a farmer, and he died, and then his nephew died. So that farm isn't being manned by nobody, right?
No.
Okay, and it's only been a few days.
Wait, I'm.
Just hear me out.
Wait. Is your assumption that there was just an uncle and a nephew and no other family whatsoever?
Well, he had other family, but
yeah.
it clearly didn't pass to anybody. The nephew was trying to take. I'm interested to know. We've been around Bray for a while. Did anything happen to the farm?
You know what? You have been around Bree, and yes, the dead guy's brother, Thomas's.
I was really hoping they were all gone.
Yeah, Thomas's father, the one that several of you met, I believe, is the one who took over his brother's farm.
Well, there goes that plan. I was just hoping to get him some easy food, but it's fine.
It's
Okay.
I'm sorry. It has been weeks since Timaeus died. Any food left in that house would be. Oh, you mean like just pull it out of the ground, have some turnips?
Well, the farmland. Sometimes stuff can last many weeks.
That's true. That's
May
true.
not be the most fresh, but ain't nobody tilling it. Anyways, well, clearly somebody is. So good luck with that. Glowrum reaches to her side, knowing that she's got some extra gold.
Roll me insight on what you're about to do.
Okay. I failed.
Okay, continue.
Okay. You said you would give up your wares, but since I haven't convinced you yet, I lost the bet, and I was thinking maybe I'd shop your wares.
You can actually you can't. You can't see shit. He looks to you, and he like screws up his face towards you, and he says, "No, lass. It's of low dwarven quality. It's fine for passing off in the Breelands to the tall folk, but I wouldn't dare sell anything of low quality to a folk of the Blue Mountains or to the Iron Hills."
Well, you telling me the only thing you got in that caravan is of low quality?
I assure you, if it were of good quality, I wouldn't be in this caravan.
Not to make judgment, because I know all dwarves are crafty at heart and hand, but is there a reason why you're making such low quality?
Time, resources, and effort.
Is that why you're headed to the Blue Mountains?
We're headed to the Blue Mountains to restock. And then we're headed back on the road. I don't have a shop. We craft as we move.
Well, then at least let us buy you dinner.
He looks around, and you can see like there is some level of like, oh, we can eat. I can eat.
I mean, he's such a big boy, growing very clearly.
Yes.
I think at that's when Yoltra goes, okay, and starts to head back.
So I was thinking maybe I could buy the lots of you dinner
and hang out. Where's your room? He looks to you and he says, "Well, lass, we've already eaten. It's fine. You supplied us with ale and a story and a laugh, Oh,
well, I haven't quite written the story yet, but I'm going to. I thought I'd tell your song in, your tale in song.
Right.
Me and Willie, we've got the little band. Next thing you know, yes. No, he's not a child, he's a hobbit.
Oh. Have
you never seen a hobbit?
They're not really common in the Breelands, and we don't really sell our wares in the Shire. And I've never seen one here.
Maybe you should. He fixes fences. It's crafty.
I'd have to have a shop to have a fence.
Yeah. Maybe you will one day.
And then
if I ever make it back to the Blue Mountains, you should come see me.
Right, you and your father.
Yes, me and my father, and maybe my brother if he's not out gallivanting.
Of course. And as I said, I do appreciate the conversation, and he absolutely does not believe that you are.
I keep looking at Yaldrick, like, what's why? Well, you know what? I can't make you believe me. I will look forward to the look on your face the day you realize you're wrong. But, well, you know what? In my attempt to be kind, since you won't take nothing else, I reach in my side pocket and I pull out the 2 pieces of lambus bread. And I go, I got a little game for the lots of you. This here's lambus bread. You ever heard of it?
No.
Okay. The elves eat it. They say 1 bite is enough to fill your belly. Now, me and old Willie here, we know that's not totally true, so we like to play a game. How much lambus bread can one eat?
All right, I have a question for you.
Okay.
How, if you got this, I assume you know you have a friend or something. How do
I got
the
a friend.
elves make the bread out of sticks and dirt?
Well, I couldn't answer that for you because I get it from, definitely not my friend here, just a friend.
Right. As far as I understand it, they eat sticks, dirt, and leaves, and
well, they eat a variety of things. They're they're survivalist.
No, I heard that's what they don't eat any meat, and they only eat literally sticks, leaves, and dirt, like trees and rocks.
Well, does that look like sticks, leaves, and dirt?
Well, I don't know.
It's like a biscuit.
Ground it up and made it into something else. I'm just curious what the process is.
You just nibble it. I've only ever been able to get to 5 before I'm upchucked.
Just so I'm clear, 5 entire pieces of bread?
No,
or
5 bites.
Oh, okay.
5 bites before I had to,
Okay, cool.
give up me load. So, I'm just challenging you.
Christ.
I'm a dwarf. What do you want from me? So you know what? This is my gift to you.
I want you to never say that sequence of words ever again.
As someone who is always on the road, I can tell you, when times get tough and your belly's empty, there's nothing like some lambus bread to fill you up. So, take it. I've only got 2 days' journey back. I'm not going to, I'll be fine.
He nods to you, and you see the 2 younger ones take it. And by younger, they're probably like, the youngest one is probably like
60.
Yeah, the youngest one is probably like your age, and the older, the tall one is probably like 100.
Yeah, and I by this point I pulled my hood back and I swoosh my luscious Reba McIntyre locks at them.
You tussle your curls at him.
I tussle my curls at Ellen and I say, so if you're ever around, the Breelands, you can come find me at the Proud Pony. I perform sometimes. Maybe I'll write you a song.
The tall one looks to you and he says, thank you. This, you said 5 is your limit.
So far.
He breaks it in half, and whether he upchucks later, he mows down half of a lemnis bread. And then is like it's like saltines, man. That shit is dry. He sucks down the swill of beer and lets out an uproarious belch.
I take the other half before I go. And I swig down my beer. I look at Yodrick and I go, we better go. It can't get any better than this.
This is the weirdest flirting I've ever encountered in my life.
You've got to leave him wanting. And between you and I, he may upchuck very soon, so...
Does he want you or does he want the Brit? You know what? Never mind. Let's go back. We've got
Yoldrick. Blue Mountain Dwarves are just built different. They're built different.
You'll never forget the day you met Glow from Daughter of Glow and Sister of Gimli.
Yeah, I'm watching this and it's just like I think they're both into it and I'm absolutely not into it.
I'll finish my drink and swagger off back to me friends. Well, that was successful, if I do say so myself.
We cut to the other side of the room. Elverneth and Willie, while that atrocity is happening, unbeknownst to you, what are the 2 of you doing here in this room?
Oh my God.
Crime is what that was.
Elverneth is looking for people who match the description of the person she's looking for. It's what's his name? Mallor'd. She does know that he is an older gentleman, correct?
Yes. Well, yeah. Yes. You do know that.
Okay.
Older is relative for Dunedain, right? So
Yeah.
like, he could be 100 years old and not look a day over 45.
That's absolutely fair. But yeah, I'm looking for a guy who fits Mallor'd's description. If I sit there for more than an hour or so, I might go up to Jack and uh ask.
Okay. So you're scanning the room, looking. No roll necessary. You don't see anybody. And I'll have this glow from this conversation did not and Yojo's conversation did not take an hour. So you're welcome to go see Jack after they return. But while you're scanning the room, looking for any signs of a ranger, Willie, what are you doing?
Well, one friend went off to go flirt with some dwarves. Fine,
Mhm.
great, nothing new. The stranger of the party went, maybe to flirt with the dwarves as well. I don't know them very
We don't
well.
judge at this table. Yeah.
So now I'm left with the elf.
Mm.
And the drink is not great, right? But it's still a drink, and I'm going to drink it. But my problem is the fellow Vornith is so focused on just searching and scanning. I'm gonna get bored.
That's true.
I'm gonna
There's
get real
nothing
bored. And you're
more
telling me that there's a
dangerous than a
whole
bored
caravan of trade folk here that will all be traveling around.
That's
Probably
true.
got interesting little things all on them. Willie probably attempted to have some conversation with Elvorn. Yeah, fine weather we're having here. Did you come here often? Just a really awkward conversation.
Come here often.
He doesn't
I
know
love
you're
that.
you're
No.
old. You're traveled. You've been around. You've seen a lot of things. So maybe you know this place. I'm not. I'm not sure. Trying to find out. But the conversation on the other side is taking a bit while. And Elvornith is maybe looking off in one direction. Willie is going to take his mug, head into another direction.
Okay.
You said there were a bunch of humans here too, yeah?
There are a number of humans here. There is a total
Great.
of 5 humans here.
Yeah. Also, while I'm looking around, I'm also kind of looking for anything that seems dangerous and all of the exits.
There is there is one exit. There are several ways out of the inn. I will let you do with that information what you will. There are several shoddy windows. There are several walls you think you could just knock down or walk through with little effort. So there are a bunch of ways out of the but one exit.
Elverneth is not above making her own way out of a hostile situation.
Yeah, perfect.
So yeah.
Yeah, you
this
have
is all good to
keen
know.
eyes on all the security elements here. There is an exit. The way you came in is the only door in or out. There is a open, not quite an archway, but like a square archway that leads to a common room, which is what makes for the beds, if you can call it that. There are piles on the ground that people can sleep on, or the carpet, if you can call it a carpet. You do see that there is somebody who looks to be in charge. You've seen him come in and out a couple times. This is for both Willie and Elverneth. You've seen him come in and out a couple times. Actually, Elverneth, roll me a scan on him.
Oh, come on. Success.
A success. He is you typically outside of your ranging, but he doesn't look like a Breelander. He looks like somebody from where the South Road goes. Whether he's from Minariath or the Enid Waif, you're not entirely sure, but he does look like he is from south of the Swan Fleet. And south of the Swan Fleet is pretty far south, even for elves to go. The Swan Fleet is a river delta that comes off of the Misty Mountains west of Moria. Not a highly patrolled area by elves, and not quite as often by rangers. Here, I'll ping it on a map for you if I can. I can't. Hold on. He's south of this area. Yeah, he has a different look to him. You do see another man who looks to be of Bree, some sort of man of Bree. You see the elves, obviously, and you see you see a man who is clearly a merchant. And by clearly a merchant, I mean he is dressed in a level of finery that is, not common from what you've been seeing, at least with your travels in Orphan, or your travels through the Breland. Willie, this is probably the first time you've seen someone dressed this elegantly. But it's elegant in like a cartoon pimp is elegant, right? Like where he's just wearing colors and lots of like ostentatious jewelry that doesn't make sense or match, and it may not be real. Given the quality of this inn, you probably wouldn't wear like gems and jewels. But he does seem to be some level of merchant. You do see two other people, a fairly quiet and reserved man, and a similarly quiet and reserved woman. They are not quite talking to anyone in particular. They're not really talking like amongst themselves either. They're just sort of off. They've packed a horse, and they've retreated to somewhere inside the inn. You assume one of the bed flops in there. That's what you see around here. No one looks particularly dangerous, but no one looks like anyone here, Elverneth, could be like a salacious person, right? They may not be entirely truthful. Willie, the one who stands out the most and has the most baubles, would be this merchant. The one who seems to be in charge seems to be the man giving orders to a few people. And everyone else just seems rather mundane. So who would you be headed towards?
Well, I mean, I'm going to be interested in the one that looks a bit more on the refined side. Not really, not necessarily passing judgment, but just understanding how trade works.
Yeah, you see him outside. You see him leave the tavern and head outside. And you catch a conversation of him trying to convince the older man to pack his horse for him, as if packing his horse may or may not be beneath him. And you see that his horse is packed with bolts of fabric and skeins of string or thread or something of the kind. As if he may be a textile merchant. But he is strapping down the leather carry bags, the saddlebags of his horse while grumbling to himself. You can see that his face looks like an old crow. He has like a long, hooked, almost beak-like nose, and beady little eyes that sort of dart back and forth as if he doesn't trust anyone around him. And he is bundled in very nice, like sable furs that sort of stick up almost like a cowl, unseasonably warm for right now. And you can see that he has a gold ring on every finger, some of which are bedecked in jewels. as he grumbles to himself about having to strap his own bags down. He does not notice you.
No, of course they don't notice me. Everybody here thinks I'm just a child. Gonna go ahead.
Sorry.
Excuse me, pardon me. Good evening.
Hello?
Here. I
Oh.
don't know if that came through.
Hello.
Snapping.
Yes. Can I help?
Yeah, you look like a man of trade. Would that be a fair assumption?
Yeah,
What kind of wares you got?
do you have coin?
Coin, treasures, bubbles. I'm a bit about to trade myself.
What do you trade in?
I mean, all sorts of things. Anything that you can find. Anything that other people want to trade.
I sell cloth and gems.
Well, gems are quite fascinating.
Do you have coin, you said?
Yeah, some coin, yeah.
All right. Yes, they are quite fascinating. Are you with anyone?
Well, yeah, of course I'm with. I'm here to. And he just points over to the elf. Oops, sorry, Evie. You're in my way, baby girl.
Are you? You don't look alike. Animals are doing
The
crimes.
crimes king is crimesing.
He looks to you and says, "You don't look alike."
Well, no, I mean, we're not related. I'm no elf. We're just friends.
Oh, you're just making buying on their behalf.
Well, why would you go and make an assumption like that? That sounds a bit rude.
When you come up to my knee,
But it's nobody out here ever
you
seen a
don't
hobbit
come,
before.
you come up to like his waist, but yeah.
Well, I mean, it's like 3'4"
Yeah.
or 3'3", something like that. Yeah.
No.
That's solidly to his waist.
Yeah. No. You said you're of a small folk, and he
small folk. Hobbitkin.
Oh. No.
Kin of the Shire.
I'm familiar with the terms.
Well, nice to meet you. My name is Willie Hayward. What would your name be?
Huh. No one will believe this. My name's Mirabar. And he reaches down and you see him give you the way you shake a toddler's hand, and then he's as he's coming in, he extends it to a whole hand. Not sure if he was being rude or you expected a whole hand. But yeah, he shakes your hand and he says, my name is Mirabar. No, we I've been on this caravan before. We do get as far as we get farther, of course, but I've been through Mikkel Delving, but I've never stopped there.
Just stop there sometimes. It's quite lovely.
All right. I'll give that a shot. What are you buying?
Yes.
Well, all right. And he undoes the satchel that he was just doing, and he has fine silks, and Mike doesn't know fabrics. He's got nice fancy fabrics, and equally fancy threads. Literally threads, not cool clothes. He seems to be a textile merchant. He does not unveil any gems, if he has any, other than the ones on him. But he does show a few bolts of cloth. They look nice. Dwarves typically have a more rustic earth tone sort of aesthetic, more workaday, workable in the garden kind of clothing. These seem like what you would imagine elves would wear. Like gossamers and silks and satins and things of that nature. But they look nice. They're shiny.
Yeah, sure. Not quite what little Willie is more keen into. I don't mean to be rude. This looks absolutely fantastic. But as you can see, I'm a bit more humble. In my aesthetic and attire, I'm a carpenter. Would it be carpenter? Would it be considered carpentry?
Yeah.
What is a fencer?
I mean, I would say a woodworker or a carpenter would be,
okay, great.
what you would be
Yeah,
that's what you would tell someone fancy to make yourself sound fancy, right?
yeah, right. Yeah, I'm a carpenter by trade, so I'm not really in the market to soil something so quite delicate and beautiful. But what I'm more in the market for is, have you picked something up from the ground? You know, like if you're walking across a stream and you just happen to notice a little glisten from the sunlight of a little something sparkling in the waters, and you pick it up, and it's but it's like a button from Rohan, or uh, some sort of a thimble uh, from the Dwarves.
You look at this man, and you can see that he has no idea what you're talking about. And he like is sort of like wringing his hands a little bit, not in like the kind of way, but like in the like I should probably wash my hands kind of way. And you see the only person with cleaner hands that you've ever seen was either right before Emil in the Shire or Elverneth. And one of those may be magical. You don't know. It looks like this guy has never picked up something off the ground, possibly in his life. Definitely not in the last decade. And he has no understanding of what you're trying to communicate. What it sounds like to him is, have you found trash? I like trash. And you can see that he is confused about whatever game you're playing. Yeah, he's confused that it might be a game, and he doesn't want to insult you that this might be like a Hobbit game.
Oh, he's so sweet.
But he looks to you and he says, no.
Or what about something sentimental that you might have taken from home? Like a pen, a brooch, an earring.
Well, yeah, I have, and he like moves the cowl kind of thing down, and you can see that he has stones in his ears, and you can see that he obviously has jewelry on. He says, but everything I choose to wear is sentimental in some small capacity, I guess. Why?
That's a bit more of what I'm in the market for.
Oh,
Treasures, sentimental treasures.
and you said you're a carpenter.
Yeah.
I don't want to be insensitive. And you can tell there's a level of him trying not to squat. I don't think it's in the price range available to your budget.
Well, that's what the trade is for. Well, so here, bartering is a good thing too.
Yes, I understand. See, I trade things for coins. Specifically, gold and silver coins.
Do you want an elvish coin? Do you want a dwarvish coin? How old of a coin are you looking for?
Oh, the age doesn't matter. It's the quantity of them.
Well, what do you mean the age doesn't matter?
I don't care how old it is. The age of the coin doesn't change its worth. A gold coin is worth one gold coin. A silver coin is worth one silver coin. A copper coin is worth one copper coin. It's the quantity of them that I want.
I don't understand.
I don't either. Is this a game? Do you not buy and sell goods in okay, let me try this approach. This is a very strange game with not a child. When you do carpentry, right? You do some wood things, and then the person you did the things for gives you what?
Well, I think it depends on what part of the country. I mean, I could get I could get a goat, could get milk, could get all sorts of food and dried sausage and goods of that nature. But also coin, sometimes silver, not very often gold.
You trade wood for milk.
But got to drink. I'm a young lad, still growing.
But if you trade all your things for coins, then you can just go buy the milk.
Well, I could do that. Well, yeah, then I would go to the market and buy the milk, or just go straight to the farmer and buy the milk.
So you are familiar with buying things with coins?
Well, yes.
And certain things cost more coins than other things, right?
Right.
I only accept coins, and typically in sizable quantities.
All right. Let me try to pose this a different way.
Okay.
Do you have something that's on you?
Right.
For a coin?
Yes.
That fits in the palm of your hand?
I have many things that could fit in the palm of my hand, yes.
Well, those would be the things that I'm interested in. Here, and Willie unfastens his vest a little bit and opens up one of the panels, and there are just all these little things that are either pinned or sewn into, and it's just random trash.
Yeah.
Broken pocket watch of some sort.
Yeah.
Some brass pieces and chain links from dwarven armor. Clearly, an elvish coin of some sort. A brooch. Things of that nature. I'm looking for things that are sentimental, like this, that have a bit of history to them. But to me, that is a bit more valuable than just a coin. I understand coin is similarly important to you, and I'm a horde of my word. I've got a coin, but I'm looking for more like I said, sentimental value.
I think I understand. I'm gonna have to go soon, but first I can give you and he reaches into his belt and pulls out a very small knife, and you see him reach towards the other side of the saddle, and he nicks something off of it, resheathes his belt knife, and hands you a shiny brass button that is off of this horse that you're fairly certain is not his horse, nor his button to give, nor even his saddlebags to have cut it off of. And he hands it to you and he says, "That is, I believe, exactly what you're looking for, my small friend."
You know what? I'll take it. How much?
Oh, no, you can just have that.
Oh, you would be so kind.
Worthless.
But I disagree here. It's not quite worthless, but I appreciate the conversation, Marabar.
I appreciate this interaction.
Right? Now you're going to remember. Now, here, hang on. And then he's kind of flipping through, pulling a little pouch open.
No, please, those are yours. I wouldn't.
No, but I got a trade, right? I'm a trader. I'm a merchant as well. Here, and he takes your hand and he puts this little dented thimble. It's clearly rusted, but you're a clothier.
I sell
maybe
cloth.
You could put it to good use.
Yeah. Okay.
That's a little thimble.
Right.
So remember the conversation, by your first experience with a hobbit.
It surely is. It surely is. And he motions to put it like in the saddlebag, and you see that like there is no ceremony. He just like, as if he was just handed chewed food. He just sort of like empties it into the bag. And then he did have his hands like together at some points. That hand is now just hanging by his side, not touching things. Because he's not sure what foreign hobbit germs you just gave him. As he kind of holds it down, he says, right, I appreciate this trade.
Thank you. I do too. If we're not heading out any too late, come back inside and catch a drink.
All right.
Oh my goodness! I know
Oh.
somebody that would love to hear about all of your adventures.
And I will be sure to tell them.
Great. Just look for the dwarf with a bright orange mustache. Can't miss her.
All right. All right. And he steps back around the horse. And like, there's a moment where you're like left alone with his horse and his things. And then you can hear the squelching of like a well being the well pump, as he's clearly washing his hands.
Yeah, I head back.
You head back in, as Elverneth is, as Glofrim and Yoldric are heading back to the table. Elverneth, you still see no sign of any sort of ranger coming here. And as soon as you see Willie heading back in, towards the door, you see the older gentleman who you clocked as probably like the leader of the caravan of some kind. He walks in like a few steps behind Willie and booms out, all right. I want to make the Brelands by tomorrow night. I have a crick in me neck from sleeping it rough, and I ain't gonna get much rest in this festering pit. And he like looks over to Jack. To bed, you sluggards. We march before the break of dawn. And you see all of the human folk abscond into various carpets and padded areas for bedding down. And you see the dwarves sort of like look at him with a lot of side eye and then just continue fucking off to whatever they were doing on their own volition. And you see a mass exodus of the human folk heading towards that common room to potentially bed down, leaving the four of you, the four dwarves, and Jack in this room. No sign of a ranger. Elverneth, you said you wanted to go talk to Jack?
Yeah. Though at that she's suspecting that that leader of the caravan may either be who I'm looking for or know who I'm looking for. Since he seems to be leading through the area, he probably knows the area. But I'm going to go to Jack.
Okay.
And I'm going to quietly say, do you happen to know how someone can get in touch with Mallor'd?
Who? Is it a friend of yours?
It's a ranger.
Oh, Tarrymac. Ranger.
Does that ring a bell to Elverneth? Because
no. But you do know that like rangers are often either they have multiple names or they may be called something different than what their true name is in other places. Clearly, Ranger and Tarrymac went together for Jack in some way.
Okay.
And he says, older fella,
Yes.
right?
Yes. Where can I find
Yeah,
him?
no, he was in earlier. He had, you can't miss him. He's got a face on him that'll sour one of my beers. Yeah, I mean, sit yourself down. He'll be back. He's in every day or so. He was in earlier and I don't know, he fucked off down the road. I they come and go, those rangers of the north, protecting the people or whatever. I don't. He'll be back, I assume. He's welcome to sit.
Indeed. Thank
I
you.
can put you in the barn if you'd like to sleep. We're all full up on beds.
I'll take up space in the barn.
Did your little friends there, would they as well?
If there's room.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, most of the animals are packed outside, ready to go for the morning. It's pretty clear in there. Hasn't been swept out, but if you're welcome to do it if you're so inclined. You know.
I shall.
All right. Yeah, by all means. I'll, I'll charge you in the morning.
Okay. I put an appropriate coin on the table. Elverneth would know what coin to put on there. I, as a player, do not.
Yep, he takes it. He takes it, and you hear it like clink into a box somewhere. A box with a locked lid. He says, "It's just out back. Just go around the well, and you can't miss it. It's there. There's plenty of room for you and your small friends. They only take up half a space. Yeah, plenty for you. And if I see old Terry Mac, I'll let him know that you're looking for him."
Thank you. I appreciate it. And I will go out to inspect the barn, see what the area looks like before I tell my friends.
Imagine the Forsaken Inn, but shittier and a barn. That's exactly what it looks like. It is a hay-covered floor that is 75% hay, 25% shit. Equally dilapidated roof. There are 3 walls on it, and the rest is like not quite open air, but those half walls with like the open grating with gates that go in and out. Yeah, that's it.
I just kind of look around, and then I nod to myself and take off my cloak, hang it on a like a broken piece of wood hanging out from it, and start cleaning up the area so that I can make it
as habitable. As possible. Yeah. Easily enough. There is a broom, or what makes for a broom. Here, you can sweep up as much of the refuse as you can, and sort of rearrange the hay to make it so you're not sleeping on the ground. Only takes you a few minutes. You're pretty quick and tidy with those kind of things. By the time you return, if that's what you're doing, all of your friends have reunited at the table.
Yeah, I kind of stand
found
there for
me
a moment.
muse.
I take a moment to myself before I head back in there, knowing that it could go downhill at any moment.
I've been moved to me loins.
Story of your life.
I've been so inspired. Elaborne, look, I'm writing a song.
A song, you say?
For me dear, sweet, and very tall dwarven fella. Norvig.
Height's not everything.
It is when you fit in your armor like that. I guess what I'm saying is I've been moved from my core, inspired to write my first ballad.
An entire ballad?
A whole one. I'll even finish it this time. I can't help myself.
I can't wait to hear it.
Yeah, I've got to, write the music, but don't point.
Oh.
He's the tall one.
Oh,
I know. His feet touch the ground when he sits in a chair.
that's impressive. What?
You should have seen him one bite of the lambus bread.
I'm fairly certain he's going to throw up.
He might, but he'll make it look good.
In the background, he starts getting a little green.
Oh yeah,
But
he's the first. He's
nobody
the
knows
first
it.
of the dwarves to leave. That bread's coming out of one end or the other.
Yeah, so I'm gonna write my great ballad, my love song. It will shatter time and space. It will travel across our various paths. He will hear me song Love and woe. Whoa.
I think the lad might need to accomplish something before he has a ballad written to him.
Well, I've already written you a song.
Really?
Well, yeah, you're me hero. Technically, I didn't finish it, but now that you're here,
Oh. Well, I can't wait to hear it one day.
well, I didn't know what the end of your story was. I got the first verse and the chorus, but I don't really know the end of your tale.
Well, I'm not exactly eager to find the end of my tale either. But here's
Mike, you
something
look like
that's a
you're going to
happy
say
one.
something.
I just want to, viewers, if you're unconvinced that the Discord is the place to be, I do want you to know that Dot has actually written a ballad for Narvig and has posted it in the Discord.
Wrote it in my
yeah.
journal.
If it weren't for the fact that Dot was under the weather, I would 100% ask her to sing it for us.
Well, I'm going to write real music for us, so you're just going to have to wait. It's a
Perfect.
work in
I was
progress.
contemplating asking her to sing.
Yeah.
We'll sing it.
Yeah, let's wait till I get a better week, and maybe I'll even break out my strings for it.
Oh,
I know.
Damn it.
sounds like Patreon content there.
That's what I
It
mean.
surely is. It
Behind
surely
the
is.
scenes, Narvik.
Oh God, spicy fanfic.
You did this, Mike.
Spicy fanfic incoming. The lusty Argonian is your conversation and glow from waxing poetic about her new
Wax.
her new horizontally or vertically ascended friend who she wants to chop down like a tree apparently progresses into the night. The wood in the fire cracks, slowly burns down to smolders and embers. You see eventually, obviously Narvik first, leaves the table. The other dwarves, as the night grows long, they too leave and head to their assembled bed piles. And you see that Jack is tipped back on a chair, feet up on some sort of barrel or box or something, one hand on the till, and every once in a while he back down. Seemingly that may be where he sleeps. But much to your chagrin, Elverneth, you see no hide nor hair of any returning ranger this evening. What are you guys doing?
Should we take turns? Watch or whatever? Let the other one sleep?
That would be an excellent idea.
I'm all full of romantic juices, so I'll take first watch. I need to finish my song anyways. I will sit on the edge of the barn in the romantic moonlight and write the song of Narvik.
I'm going to sleep now.
Yeah.
Me first.
I of course show everyone to where I procured sleeping quarters.
Yeah. Yep. Everyone goes to sleep. Just so I know, Jesus. What is the order of watch here inside the Forsaken Inn?
I'll take the first watch.
Yes,
I'll
clearly.
take second.
Great.
Take third.
Okay.
I'll take fourth.
Okay. In that order, everyone please roll me a scan.
Okay, scan. I failed.
Great.
I'm so busy writing my song.
Great success.
Great. Great.
Success.
Yo, I don't think I've succeeded a whole roll tonight except for the one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, failure.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. Cool. Cool. Here's what we're gonna do. Yoldrick, obviously, Glowfram, you are enthralled in the writing, the lusty, girthy tale you're creating here, this ballad that you are concocting.
I didn't use the term girthy. I wonder what I can rhyme with that.
Earthy. You did. Spoilers. You did use sausage hands. So
What? I think it's sexy.
I
Don't
There's a-
spoil it for everyone. They have to go to Discord to read it, Mike.
there's a point in role playing with Dot where the line between character and person blend, and I don't
This is
know.
all glow.
I don't know who thinks sausage hands is sexy because it could be.
Does. I'm just saying, but I do like this term girthy.
She Dot. Criminy. Yeah, so, oh God, what a day, what a time this is.
Are you trying to wrap us up, Mike?
That's what's happening right now. I got it. Don't worry.
I'm just making sure.
No, I got it. I gotta narrate you out here. Yoldrick, you hear mostly snores. You hear what you think might be a very low conversation, but the conversation is interposed between grumbles and half words and some dwarvish, which you think is obviously Vogar. It has his cadence. You can get that Vogar is in the thralls of a nightmare, or heroic dream. Sometimes they're the same. Probably replaying his last battle. The noises he's making, the audible like words and clips and phrases that he is saying, you can guess that he's replaying some sort of battle, whether a nightmare or a fantasy is uncertain. However, it is Willie, the curious hobbit, one who cannot be left alone, and one who cannot sit still. While left to his own devices on what he was told is watch. Not exactly a thief, but just a curious little tiny hands. You move around the tavern out of misplaced boredom, and you find something behind the bar. I'm not sure if you actually go behind the bar, but you do see it, at least from the little door between the counter. There's a backpack behind the bar. Does not look like something that belongs to Jack. The backpack is replete with a bedroll, seemingly supplies. It looks weathered. It looks waxed canvas, as if it were to survive a storm. Yeah, that's what you see. You see it stashed behind the bar. Not quite hidden, just placed there off to the side, as if someone forgot some luggage.
And it's Willie that sees this right now.
Willie sees that, yeah. I feel like Yoldrick is less likely to just wander around the bar, poking at things and trying to see what other people have that he doesn't. Doesn't quite seem like Yoldrick's character. So yeah, you hear the snoring and the conversation and a couple of whispers back there that you can't quite make out. Willie pokes around, finds a bag. Elberneth, your shift goes completely normal, as is promised by the gentleman leading the caravan. He is up before dawn, and he is rallying the groups. Whether your allies wake up at that time or not, you are awake. But as the caravan gets ready to leave, still no sign of Mallor'd or this Tarrymac. And that's where we'll end tonight's episode, right before the caravan leaves. And we'll pick up next week to see what happens. So, with that, let's go around, do our introduction so that we can get out of here, do our after show, and then go to bed and go see the D&D movie this weekend. We'll start with Aris. Aris, who are you? Where can we find you? What are you up to?
Hello, I'm Erisavad. I make things. You can find the things that I make at erisavad.com, like this pillow. I've got all sorts of cool art that I've been turning into coasters. There's a small update about to come hit my store probably this weekend, hopefully, maybe. I don't know. We'll see how work goes tomorrow. Yeah.
Perfect.
Go shop. Get something cool for yourself.
Do
Treat
it.
yourself.
Do it. put all your things in there. Put pens in there. You can put cups in there. I mean, you can fit cups in there. You can store hats and socks. You can store any number of beaded trinkets that you might have with your little tiny hobbit hands.
That's right. That you try to trade.
That you
You
try to
can also
trade
buy
for-
hats. I
for
make
buttons.
hats too.
That's true. I have one. It says ass on it.
Mhm. You too can own an ass hat.
You too can be as cool as me and wear an ass hat. Speaking of as cool as me, Gnome, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet, and what are you up to?
Oh, what's up? I'm Gnome. You can find me everywhere at Nomadic. Literally everywhere at Nomadic. I don't know. I'm not doing anything. I'm here, and it's great. Thanks.
Great, love it. Dot, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? What are you up to?
Hey everybody, I am Dot. You can find me online where little red dots are found. That includes Cobalt Press, Pod by Night, unMadeGaming. Yeah, go check my stuff out. That's my shield this week. That's all I got in me, everybody.
Great. Dot, what time is it's Saturday? Is your thing Sunday?
Saturday.
Saturday. Go check out the thing on Saturday.
Oh
It's
yeah,
Pod by Night
yeah,
doing The Sims.
Yeah, that's right. Pod by Night. While the storyteller's away, the coterie will play. We're gonna play Sims for April Fools. So come check it out. It'll be ridiculous.
Awesome. And last but not least, Noir, who are you? Where can we find you on the internet? And what are you up to?
I'm getting ready to go to a movie theater in full armor kit, so that's gonna be fun.
I love
But you
that.
can find me all over the internet as the Noir Enigma. That's Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, TikTok, and Instagram. Please check out the Reckless Attack podcast. I'm on it this week. If you're checking out Big Bad Con online this weekend, I'll also be doing a panel about freelancing and telling you my mistakes so you don't make them. And of course, morning ritual every Saturday. This week we have the team behind oh my goodness, Sarah's Table. And of course, every Friday you can catch me at JCon's JCon TV for table takes. And also, I just want to show something cool I made. I made a giant D20 to hold all my dice.
Hell
Oh,
yeah.
that's cool.
Yeah,
That's really
that's so
sick.
cool.
That's it. That's I'm not-
I like it.
I just print stuff now, so that's me.
I love that. I love that. Go check out all these faces on all their various social medias and all their various events. That's going to be it for us. We will see you guys next week for more of these shenanigans. We'll find out what the hell happened to Terry Mack or Mallor'd. That's it. If you guys want to see more of us, go to the Patreon. There's after shows. There's bonus prep sessions. All kinds of cool stuff. And join us on the Discord and read Glowfram's lusty song. But that's it from us. So from all of us to you guys, we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.